Hey YouTube, Alan back with another Math System Monday, and this week we're taking a look at a rather late game. It's Road Rash. Now, Road Rash is a port, obviously, of the I was going to say the Mega Drive version. Technically, I guess you could say a port of the 3DO version, but it bears most resemblance to the Mega Drive version, and it is, it's one of those games you kind of go, this game has no business running on the Master System. I hope you can, see it through the video there. Uh, the gameplay has managed to capture a great degree of the look and feel of the Mega Drive original. And when you consider the limitation of the hardware, I just consider it astonishing. It's one of those, I suppose, examples where the Master System's life continued on well past, what the Americans and what the Japanese would have gotten from the console. And this game is from US Gold, and you kind of you think US Gold and Probe, oh, that's a recipe for disaster. But there is actually a few decent games, and this is definitely one of them. The kind of naturally the scrolling could be a little smoother. It's not as fast. Well, until you get faster bikes, of course, as the original versions. But for an 8-bit conversion, it actually does a tremendous job, and I highly recommend people check it out. Now, checking it out can be a little challenging, though. It's one of those games where it's not rare, but maybe because of the name and maybe because it was a later release, it came out in 1993, it is a little more challenging to pick up. Now, I the way prices are going, it's hard to say what a good price for it is now. I know when I got my two versions, and I'll talk about the two versions, combined, they came to €18 delivered. And they were both complete. So you see, I've got second set of manual and cartridge, but the manual and cartridge are the same regardless of version. So that's why I only have one up there now. Um, and we may as well get on to that. Talk about the various changes. This being a US Gold release, it actually comes with a different label. It comes with a white label with Road Rash, Sega, and more interestingly, I think, the Electronic Arts logo. It kind of seems weird to see Electronic Arts logo on a Master System game, but there were a few Master System Electronic Arts based ports. Road Rash being probably the most noticeable. All that, and perhaps on Desert Strike. And then, of course, you have the manual, and it's the US Gold style manual, so it has a big front art. It's quite chunky the way they've laid it out. I mean, they have all of the European languages, so it's not all English, like it's split up. But US Gold manuals were always quite chunky. I do like that artwork. I think it's pretty cool. And then you get into the boxes themselves. So this is the standard release. It came out in 1993, and as I said, you see you got the Electronic Arts. And to be fair, the title screen actually does a fairly good job of capturing this type of artwork. You got the old Electronic Arts logo, and you have a nice colorful spine. It follows the standard late release format of, game name, Master System logo, and then picture, but it has this bluey color. And then let me see, can we get this zoomed in? Because it's got a slightly different organization, but ultimately quite similar. You see the Road Rash logo is a bit different than how some games are laid out. So yeah, the challenge: race for your life. There are no rules, no speed limits, and no going back. Watch out for roadblocks, oil spills, and the cops. Reach speeds of at least 150 miles per hour while punching, kicking, and clubbing your opponent before he gets you first. The adrenaline is pumping, and he's waiting for you. And as I said, like, all of those things are true, and it's a great game. The only thing that you could say this is missing is a simultaneous two-player mode. It does say players two, but it's kind of alternating. And to be honest, I'm actually not sure if the original Mega Drive version supported a split-screen mode. I'm thinking that might have come in the sequel. So if that's the case, then to be fair, that even makes it more impressive. It's a closer port. And you can see the screenshots there. I think do a good job of kind of highlighting just how close it came to capturing the Mega Drive look and feel. So that's the original release, and then I'd imagine pretty quickly it also got a Kicks release. So Kicks is one of the kind of I'm not too sure if it's basically budget re-release, but we looked at the classic. You can just see them in there in the background. These classic boxes once before, and now we have a Kicks release. It's a similar type of deal where you can see they've just taken the artwork and they've cropped it to fill in the Kicks branding. You got the Kicks and the spine, and it really just changes the color. I don't think, unlike the classic release where the back of the box is changed, this is the same. Yeah, so this is exactly the same, other than the Kicks, cropping effect. And I'd imagine I'm not too sure when these came out. I suspect it was probably still say 1993, so it was probably pretty shortly after the original release, to be honest. The Kicks games can be a little tricky to find, but if you are looking for them, just bear in mind that they do come with the same manual and cartridge, so it's essentially only the insert that's different between the versions. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that look at Road Rash. It's an amazing conversion and really, really good game, and I highly recommend checking it out, regardless of if it's Kicks or original. So we'll leave it there, and we'll see you again next Monday for another Master System review.